Mr. Rodriguez, you're still under oath.
Yes.
Yes. Now, you may sit down. You may sit down.
My Lord, just apologies for the
Short interruption, just to advise you that my junior is in another matter in this building, and he will be with us shortly. He begs for his late arrival. Apologies.
Yeah, no problem. Yes, Mr. Gutze.
Thank you, Lord. Mr. Rodriguez, I handed you yesterday the transcript of the proceedings in the magistrate court in relation to the judgment. My Lord, more in particular, page 1079 of that proceedings to page 1157 of those proceedings. Is it correct? You must just answer, please.
Yes.
It's correct, Your Honor.
And did you read this section and specifically the summing up by the magistrate in relation to your evidence?
It's correct, Your Honor.
So the evidence as is summed up by the magistrate in this judgment, do you consider that to be a correct summary of your evidence?
It's correct, Your Honor.
Is the court be addressed as my lord or Edler?
Edler.
Not Edel Achtbare, please. Sir, this is the portion that I handed to Mr. Rodriguez is also the translated judgment as I see it, as paginated and also on the court's file.
Yes, the judgment is in Afrikaans, right?
The judgment in Afrikaans.
Yes, so the pages that you referred to.
Well, there's not a specific heading in the record which says judgment. I have given the judgment as in the original inquest, as from page 1079. It seems to me the judgment perhaps only starts on the next page, 1080, but it leads up to the judgment, the remarks by the court on the previous page, and then basically, as I read it, from page 1080, the actual summary of all the evidence and the judgment begins, my Lord. And on the paginated English translation, it seems that the reference to the summing up of.
Just a minute, you're disturbing the court.
That the summing up of Mr. Rodriguez's evidence starts at page 27 of the paginated translated judgment, my Lord.
But in the original text, it starts on page 1121.
Yes, my Lord. No, that is correct. But
yes.
Just for context, I gave him the whole and the complete judgment for him to read.
Yes.
But I specifically directed him to the portion with reference to his own evidence, my Lord.
Yes, thank you. Mr. Rodriguez, did you also have sight of your affidavit, the one that was submitted to the magistrate in 1972? A copy of your affidavit. There's one page missing on it.
Yes.
Have you seen that affidavit?
Only a few days ago,
But have you seen it?
I've seen it, yes.
Would you confirm that on the last page, that is your signature,
That's correct.
and that page 3 thereof is missing, which basically deals with the actual incident itself?
Yes, that's correct.
But the content of page 1 and page 2 as well as page 4, you agree with that?
I agreed with that.
Okay, thank you. You may proceed.
My Lord, Mr. Rodriguez, when you gave evidence in the magistrate's court, were you comfortable in giving evidence there in the court?
Not at all. Not at all, Your Honor.
Why?
My Lord, ek en die offisiere wat met my kom praat het na dit Timol deur die venster is, wou gehad het ek moet my verklaring aanpas, die heerlik, en sekere stellings maak wat nie waar was nie.
Okay, stand it. At the time when I gave testimony in the magistrate court, I was coerced to say things which were not correct in the statement, and that made me to be unsettled in relation to how the events unfolded on that day in question.
No, my lord, that's not, translation is not correct, my lord, on,
Yes.
with
Yes.
respect. Okay, if I may just do, Mr. Rodriguez, do I understand you correctly? You said that you felt uncomfortable in giving evidence because of what the officers have told you to change in your statement.
Dis reg, heerlik.
And these officers you've referred to Mr. Buys, or General Buys, is that one of the officers? Or what is his rank?
There are quite there were more than, I think there were about, ek dink daar was omtrent 4 of 5 offisiere wat my probeer intimideer het om inligting in my verklaring te meld wat nie waar was nie.
Yeah, I think there were 4 or 5 officers that coerced me to say things that I was not supposed to say, which were not true.
And were they at court?
Maar
Were they at
Was
court?
hulle-
Were they
was
in
hulle-
court when you testified?
Ja,
Was hulle teenwoordig gewees?
al die offisiere wat met my daaroor gepraat het en met my probeer beïnvloed het, was in die hof terwyl ek getuig het.
Yeah, all the officers that wanted to influence me were also present during the proceedings.
En ek was die junior by verre van hierdie offisiere.
I was a junior of them, of these officers.
Ek het baie geïntimideer gevoel
I felt intimidated,
en daarom het ek nie genoem dat hulle my probeer beïnvloed het om my verklaring te verander nie.
yeah, that is why I felt intimidated, because they wanted me, or they influenced me to say things that were not true.
What is it that they wanted you to say, which was not true?
Wat is dit wat hulle nog gehad het dat u nou sê wat nie waar gewees het?
U edele, dis lang gelede, dis 46 jaar gelede, ek kan nie alles onthou nie, maar ek kan onthou dat generaal Buys wou gehad het dat ek in my verklaring noem dat ek en Timol in 'n stoeigeveg betrokke was in die kantoor. Wat heeltemal glad nie waar is nie, want ek het nog in my hele kontak met Timol het ek nooit eers aan hom geraak nie.
Yeah, because General Buys wanted me to testify to the effect that I had a fight with Timol before he threw himself out of the window, and which never happened before.
And that was a physical fight, a wrestling or a
Wrestling
physical
match of
Yeah, the physical fight.
ons het
We never had a physical fight together.
Did he tell you why he wanted you to say that?
Het hy nou vir u gesê hoekom wil hy gehad het u moet dit so sê?
ek weet nie. Ek weet nie
I do not know.
ek weet nie laafbare, maar ek kan nie daaroor spekuleer nie.
Sê u deel.
Yes. Now,
I
did you
cannot speculate on that.
tell the magistrate all this that you are saying now?
Het
Nee,
u nou
ek-
vir die landros gesê?
Ek het
Al wat nou u nou vir die edele nou sê wat daar gebeure het.
Ek het nie vir die landros gesê nie, want ek was baie geïntimideer deur offisiere wat daar gesit het
I did not
wat
tell
betrokke was by die intimidasie.
I did not tell the magistrate because I was intimidated, but by all the 4 officers who were there.
En hulle was daar terwyl ek hulle was die hele tyd daar terwyl ek getuig het.
Hulle was die hele tyd daar.
Uh,
Meneer, was hulle
ja.
almal daar? Die
Hulle
hele
was
tyd?
almal.
They were in all material times present at the time when I gave testimony to that effect.
Mr. Rodriguez, in your mind, at that stage, what would have happened if you had informed the magistrate that you were pressurized to tell a lie?
Die offisiere wat daar was 'n baie sterk span en hulle het baie invloed gehad, U Edele.
It was a very strong unit, so to say, and they had a lot of influence in relation to this matter,
En hulle kon my groot skade berokken het.
and they could have damaged my image.
They could have caused you serious harm.
Serious,
Did you think that they might cause you physical harm?
It was possible. Dit is moontlik, U Edele.
It was possible.
And after the hearing, since 1972 to this date, why have you not come forward to say that you were intimidated or there were attempts to intimidate you by these officers at the time you gave evidence?
Ek het nie die geleentheid gehad nie, U Edele.
I did not have the opportunity to come forward.
What do you mean you didn't have the opportunity?
Ek
Can you explain that? Because we have now the National Directorate of Public Prosecutions here, and you had 45 years within which to come forward and say this. Why haven't you done this?
Ek weet nie, U Edele.
I don't know.
Now, before you move on to the next item, I just want to make sure. Yesterday, when you said Mr. Timol was seated opposite you, and he was facing in the direction in which you were sitting, is that what you said?
He was
seated-
facing, ja,
He was facing in your direction.
in my direction.
Did you have a good look at him?
Ek het hom baie mooi gesien, U edelagbare, maar ek kon nie ek kon niks snaaks in hom sien nie.
Did you see any injuries on his face?
Nee, ek het geen beserings in sy gesig gesien nie.
Anywhere on the body?
Hy was ten volle gekleed, edelagbare.
On the hands?
Niks op sy hande gesien nie.
I did not see any injuries sustained on his face, on his body, on his hands, and he was fully dressed.
Okay, you may proceed.
Thank you, my lord. My lord, I've got no further questions to the witness.
Thank you.
My lord.
Dr. Prisoners.
Thank you, my lord. My lord, I'm going to put my questions in Afrikaans and I'm going to talk to the witness about that so that there can be no misunderstanding as to the language. Meneer Rodriguez, ek gaan jou in Afrikaans ondervra. Ek sal bly wees as ons by Afrikaans kan bly en nie die tale meng nie, want anders kan daar net verwarring kom. So ek sal bly wees as ons by Afrikaans kan bly. Dit sal in Engels vertaal word en jy sal voldoende geleentheid hê om te dink oor die vraag. Ek wil net 'n paar losstaande punte met u behandel voor ek by die temas kom wat ek met u wil doen. En ek wil met jou einde van jou getuienis begin. Jy het getuig want ons was in 'n oorlogssituasie en ek wou opleiding kry. Is dit nie waar nie?
Dit is waar, dit is soos dit is.
Vertaal net.
Dat julle nou in 'n oorlog gewees.
Ons was in 'n oorlogssituasie.
Ek verstaan dit nie. As jy sê julle was in 'n oorlog gewees, wat bedoel?
Ons was nie in 'n oorlog nie, ons was in 'n oorlogssituasie in hierdie land.
No.
A state of war. We're
Yeah,
in a
we
state
were
of
in a
war. That's
state
what
of
you're
war in
saying.
this land.
Ek wil net jou benadering toets. U was toe reeds uit die polisie uit.
Dis reg.
U het
En
geen
by-
bevorderingsmoontlikheid gehad nie en u is toe vir 'n kort tydperk terug na die polisie toe.
Ek is vir 'n kort tydperk terug na die polisie toe, want ek wou die spesialis opleiding wat die manne kry wat aan die grensdiens gedoen het, in die oorlog aan die grensdiens gedoen het, wou ek daardie opleiding wou ek kry. En dit is baie goeie opleiding gewees.
Yeah, because there were other officers that were working in the borders, and I wanted to, wat het u nou gesê, 'n spesiale opvoeding gekry
Dit-
oor.
Het is baie goeie opleiding geweest.
And it was a very good training
Ja.
that I wanted to have.
Yes, proceed, Dr. Pretorius.
Thank you, my lord. Ek wil net sien die benadering. Daar was 'n totale aanslag en dit moes hand en tand beveg word.
Dis korrek.
It's correct.
Jy het kort daarna weer die polisie verlaat.
Dis reg. Nadat die opleiding ontvang het, die spesialisopleiding ontvang het, het ek weer die polisie verlaat en teruggegaan na my ou werk toe.
Did you get new employment when you left the first time?
Ja.
For how long were you away when you left the first time from the police?
Edele, ek kan nie presies onthou nie, maar dit was 'n paar maande
And you went back for this training?
en toe ek nou klaar is met my opleiding, toe gaan ek terug na my vorige werk toe.
I went back after the training. I went back to my former employment.
What kind of work was it?
Ek was 'n journalist. Ek was 'n journalist.
Journalist. Journalism.
Journalist where? Attached to a newspaper?
'n Newspaper.
Which newspaper was it?
Die hoofstad, dit was 'n middagkoerant in Pretoria.
Okay.
The Hoofstad, it was an afternoon newspaper in Pretoria.
En ek was 'n senior journalist daar.
I was a senior journalist there.
Thank you, my lord. En u was inderdaad 'n redakteur, subredakteur by die Hoofstad, nie waar nie?
Nee, ek was nie, ek was 'n redakteur by die Parkeraad.
By Sanparke was u 'n
Die
redakteur.
Sanparke, ja.
Was u.
Some
Net om dit vir die hof duidelik te maak. U het 'n aantal boeke gepubliseer.
I think the questions need to be translated because currently the questions are in Afrikaans and it's not being translated onto the record. And
Yes.
I don't have a problem with that, but I think the record might have a problem there. I'm sorry, Mr.
Yeah, because I'm also not being given an opportunity because to say whatever that they say.
Yes. Dr. Pretorius, can you switch to English? Because it's going to be difficult for the interpreter to interpret your questions as well as the answer. It's going to delay
As the
us.
court pleases, my lord.
Please, if you could follow his lead and
Okay,
let's
as the
handle it
court
on that
pleases, my
basis.
Just to complete this background to the court, you in fact published a number of books
Ja.
Under the name Jan Rodriguez. How many books did you publish?
Ek dink ek het 8 boeke gepubliseer.
I published about 8 books.
The reason why I ask you about the war situation and the total onslaught, I want to check your approach. We've seen at the TRC, Mr. Jeff Benzine gave evidence there, and a number of security policemen gave evidence asking for amnesty for torture. Would you accept that torture was a common thing in the security police during those years?
Ek kan dit nie sê nie, edele. Ek het net stories gehoor van torturing. Ek het nie self gesien dat die mense getortured word of ek het nooit iemand self getortured nie.
I did not see it personally. I just heard people talking about it, and I also personally did not torture anybody.
But I would like you then to explain the war situation and the training that you at that stage wanted?
Dit het als gegaan oor verdediging en
It was-
aanval.
It was all about defense and attack.
Is that a training?
That's very intensive training. Ekskuus tog, dit is baie intensiewe opleiding, U Edele.
It was a very intensive training.
You were trained defense and attack.
Ja,
Yes.
That is what called in Afrikaans stein. Counterinsurgency training, not so.
In Afrikaans.
Stein. Teeninsurgensie or counterinsurgency training. Is that what it was called?
ek verstaan nie die vraag mooi nie.
Ja, maar hy sê dit in Engels.
Teeninsurgensie.
The training that you underwent, what was it called?
Die opleiding wat u nou deurgegaan het, wat was dit?
Ek kan nie onthou nie.
I can't remember.
Would you argue with me if I put it to you that it was counterinsurgency training that you
Nee.
underwent?
No.
Dit mag so wees.
It might be like that.
And just after you received the training, you left the service of the police again.
Yes.
And after when I received the training, I left the police again.
Dis reg, julle.
So you just wanted the training.
I want the training. I want to be prepared.
You must have been less than honest in your application for re-enlistment into the police if you just wanted the training.
No. Ek was eerlik, ek het nie voor en na die opleiding wat ek gekry het ek diens gedoen as 'n administratiewe beampte.
Ja, dit maak nie vir my sin uit nie. This doesn't make sense to me.
En dit maak nie sin.
You were a journalist and then you reapplied to the police.
Ja,
And after you got the training, you left the police again.
yes.
What
Yes, sir.
administrative duties are you referring to?
Ek was in 'n kantoor, in 'n hoofkantoor.
I was in my office, in the head office,
Waar ek korrespondensie gedoen het.
where I did correspondence.
Is that now in the Compol building, in the security?
No. Dit is in die hoofkantoor. Dit is nie eerder dit is in die hoofkantoor van die Suid-Afrikaanse polisie.
It was in the head office of the South African police.
At Waghuis.
Waghuis. Eerder,
Waghuis.
ja.
Okay. We'll like to look at your reapplication to the police in your personal file. But the second point that I want to clear up before I start with my themes is your version that you provided yesterday. As I understood you giving evidence yesterday, you say you fell to the ground before you could reach Ahmed Timol. Is that correct?
Ja.
It's true.
Kan ek net eerlik wil dit net duidelik maak, ek het oor die stoel gestruikel en geval. Met my voorlyf op die grond.
Yeah, I fell off my chair and fell on the ground.
So you were on all fours.
Dis korrek eerlik.
It's not fell off
Yes,
my
they
chair,
say.
it fell over the chair. I'm sorry to correct that, but it needs to be correctly translated.
Reflected, yes.
Thank you.
The evidence is you were trying to reach him and you fell over the chair on which you were sitting before.
Korrek eerlik.
And just to reiterate and re-emphasize, you were on all fours on the ground.
Ja.
Yes.
You couldn't reach out to him. He was gone.
He was gone. Ek was te laat eerlik.
I was late.
I'm putting to you again. You couldn't reach out to him. He was gone.
He was gone.
I'm putting to you that's in direct contradiction from your previous evidence that you gave before the court, where you said you reached out for him and you missed him just.
Wel, dit is moontlik want jy weet, dit is 46 jaar gelede. Ek kan nie in detail onthou presies wat gebeur het nie.
It's
Ek
possible.
mag my hand uitgesteek het na hom en om probeer om in die hande te kry. Dit is moontlik, Edele.
It's possible.
Maar-
It's about 46 years back, and I might have tried to stretch my hand and I couldn't get hold of him.
Is it also possible that you caught his scarf?
Nee,
No,
ek het geen kontak met hom gemaak.
I never had any contact with him.
At that stage, you were more or less in the position of chair number A on picture C8, not so.
Ja, ek het oor stoel A gestruikel, eerlikwaar.
Yeah, I was on the chair marked A.
I'll come back to this in detail at a later stage, but I just want to clear up some other loose projects. The other one is the officers that have put pressure on you. We know already, Boyce was the one officer that put pressure on you and said you've got to put in something about the wrestling with Ahmed Timol, not so.
Dis reg, eerlikwaar.
That is correct.
Then we got Gloy and Van Niekerk that they wanted to prescribe to you.
Dis korrek, eerlikwaar.
Also, Fanika put pressure on me.
What did they try to prescribe to you? What did they want you to say?
Ek kan nie meer onthou nie. Dit is te lank gelede, eerlikwaar.
I can't remember what they wanted me to say. It's quite a period of time back.
Maar daar was 2 ander offisiere ook, eerlikwaar.
Yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
There were also other 2 officers present.
Don't tell me Brigadier Patel also put pressure on you to change your version.
Nee, ek kan nie onthou dat Patel enige druk op my uitgeoefen het nie, eerlikwaar.
I can't remember as to whether Petel did also put pressure on me.
Who else put pressure on you to change your version?
Ek kan nie meer onthou, ek kan die name nie meer onthou nie, eerlikwaar.
I can no
Maar daar was
longer
2 ander ook gewees.
recall the names of those people, but there were other 2 which were also present.
Now, except for requiring you to put in about the wrestle that you had with Ahmed Timol, what else was prescribed to you?
Nee, ek kan nie onthou nie, eerlikwaar.
I cannot
Maar
remember.
ek onthou die geval van dat ek moes skryf. Ek het met Timol gestoei want dit is 'n ding wat baie indruk op my gemaak het. Maar die ander kan ek nie onthou nie.
Yeah. All what I can remember is that they instructed me to say that I wrestled with Timol, but other things that they wanted me to say, I cannot recall them.
But what's important to me is Brigadier Patel was not one of those officers that have put pressure on you.
Nee, ek kan nie onthou dat Patel enige druk op my uitgeoefen het nie, eerlikwaar.
I cannot remember that Petel also put pressure on me.
We'll go through your version bit by bit, but just to conclude this, Brigadier Patel saw you just after this incident, not so?
Eerlikwaar, daar was verskeie offisiere wat my direk na die voorval gesien het.
There was
Ek ken die naam die van Patel kan ek onthou, maar ek ken hom self kan ek nie goed onthou nie.
yeah, I can remember the name Petel, but I cannot personally remember him. But there was some of them that came after the incident to talk to me.
Yeah, and there was a photographer, Peter van der Merwe, that took 3 pictures that very night of the incident in that office. Is that correct?
Dis korrek, eerlikwaar.
It is correct.
3 pictures.
Ek weet nie hoeveel foto's ek geneem het, ek kan nie onthou nie.
I put it to you.
Al foto wat ek kan onthou is die een wat ek hierby staan.
I cannot remember how many photos were taken. The only photo that I can recall is the one that is before me.
We'll come back to that. I'll show you the others also. Faded, but I'll show you the other pictures. But I put it to you that 3 pictures were taken where you stood in different positions while you explained to Patel what happened. That's his evidence.
Dit is moontlik eerlagbare, ek kan nie onthou nie, dit is lang gelede.
It's possible that 3 pictures were taken, but it's quite a period of time that this incident has happened.
Dus
Have you got any idea why General Bays would have wanted you to say there was a wrestling match between you and Timol? Have you got any idea?
ek wil nie spekuleer nie, eerlagbare, ek weet nie.
I don't want to speculate, I do not know.
I want to go back to the evidence that you gave yesterday and start from the beginning that we work through that and see what we can find in your evidence. I've got a problem with your evidence from the beginning. When you were sworn in, you said your name is Jan Rodriguez, not so?
Ja, dit is die algemene naam wat hulle my noem, want ek het Portugese name en die mense eerlagbare en die mense vind dit moeilik om die Portugese name uit te spreek.
Yeah, I've got Portuguese names and people find it difficult to call me with those names.
My oupa wat uit Portugal uitkom,
My grandfather who comes from Portugal,
sy tweede vrou,
his second wife,
my oorspronklike ouma is dood, toe trou hy weer, die tweede vrou,
my original grandmother has passed on, and the second one,
kon nie die naam João, wat John in Engels beteken, en Jan in Afrikaans, baas raak nie, toe sê sy vir my, van vandag af is jy Jan.
because she could not pronounce my name as Juan because it's a Portuguese name, and she said to me, from today you'll be called Jan.
So your real name is João
João,
Anastasia.
Anastasio.
So my actual name is João Anastasio.
And you also publish the books under the name Jan, not
Yeah.
so?
And
Dit
that
is so eerlagbare.
that is indeed so.
You didn't try to get away from your past, did you?
From my past.
Yeah.
Toe, ek verstaan nie die vraag nie, eerlagbare.
I don't understand the question.
We'll come back to that. Now, you were also asked whether you received any specialized training, and your answer was, ek het geen bykomende opleiding ondergaan nie. That was your evidence in chief yesterday. Is it correct so?
Dit was korrek. Ek het gepraat van die tydperk vandat ek in diens geneem is tot die Timol voorval.
Yeah, I testified to that effect from the incident before the Timol incident.
Later het jy wel, later on you did get specialized training, not so?
Ja,
And thereafter,
ja, eerlagbare.
I also get a specialized training.
What type of specialized training did you get later on?
Dit is die hantering, ek praat nou van, ekskuus eerlagbare, ek praat nou van die tydperk toe ek teruggegaan het polisie toe,
I'm now referring
om die kursus te voltooi.
I'm now referring to the period when I was brought back into the police.
Ek neem aan dat die antwoord moet wees wat die aard van die opleiding was wat ek gekry het.
Yeah, the type of training that I got.
Is dit korrek?
Is that correct?
You were not supposed to ask questions, but yes. What's the training called? Was it firefighting? Was it counterinsurgency? What kind of training was the specialized training you received? Why do we struggle with that?
Die edelagbare, die opleiding wat gekry het was spoorsny, die hantering van vuurwapens,
Okay, we moet niet zo ver naar Westen. The handling of firearms en wat nog?
verskillende soorte vuurwapens,
On different types of firearms
en die hantering van gevangenes,
and the handling of suspects, people that are arrested.
ek kan nie presies onthou wat die ander opleiding was. O, dit was om uit die helikopter uit te spring,
And how to jump out of the helicopter.
en ek weet nie wat noem hulle dit in Afrikaans nie, edelagbare.
I said it in English.
Dit is 'n leopard crawling.
Yeah.
The umbrella term for this, couldn't it perhaps be counterinsurgency training?
Nee. Ek kan nie dit sê nie, edelagbare.
I can't say that.
But you cannot dispute it either.
Ja, I can't dispute it either.
Now, you also had some experience in emergency situation, noodtoestande, not so?
Ja.
Yes.
Elaborate on that, please.
Dit is die hantering van mense in noodtoestande, hulle die verwydering,
That is to handle people that are on the emergency situation or condition,
hulle af te voer, beseerde mense af te voer na mediese behandeling, edelagbare,
and to also take them to the medical people to attend to them.
Edelagbare, dis lank gelede, ek kan nie mooi onthou presies wat dit als behels het nie.
No, I cannot remember all what it entailed.
But you had some experience in emergency situations.
Yes.
Yes.
Now, you were in an administrative post, you were a clerk in the police for 12 years, not so? You just
Is that
say,
so?
Edelagbare, dit was baie langer as 12 jaar. Ek dink dit was nader aan 16 jaar.
It was more than 12 years, it was just about 16 years.
and then you were recruited to the security police, not so?
Korrek, edelagbare.
That is correct.
How did it come that you were recruited to the security police? Why did they see you? How did it come that they recruited you to the security police?
Edelagbare, ek weet nie, ons het nie in daardie tyd, as ons verplaas word, het ons nie vrae gevra nie.
Okay. I don't know, because at that point in time when we were placed or given other duties to do, we were not given an opportunity to ask questions.
At the stage of the Timol incident, you were 33 years old.
32 of 33 edelagbare, ek kan nie presies onthou nie.
I can't remember, I might have been 31 years of age or 33 years of age.
Incidentally, do you know Roy Swanepoel?
Ek het Roy Swanepoel baie goed geken, edelagbare.
Did
I knew Rode Sanpool very well.
he not recruit you to the security police?
Edelagbare, ek het nie insaag gehad in die doen en late van senior offisiere nie. Ek het net opdrag gekry om by die teenterroriste eenheid te rapporteer en die plek in te neem van 'n beampte wat daar gewerk het wat afgetree het. Dit was 'n administratiewe beampte wat afgetree het en ek moes die administratiewe take oorneem.
Yeah, I did not have an insight of how they appoint officers, but I was instructed to go and take over from one other officer that went on pension, and it was an administrative a job that I got.
You were quite a sportsman also at that stage, played rugby, not so?
Ek het edelagbare, ek het rugby gespeel, maar nie verlang nie.
No, I did play rugby, but not for a long period of time.
Want beserings het my rugbyloopbaan kort geknip, edelagbare.
Yeah, because injuries shortened my playing rugby.
At the security police, you were doing an administrative post, you were doing administrative duties?
Dis korrek, edelagbare.
That is correct.
Logbooks of the vehicles, services to the vehicles, salary checks, etc., not so?
Dis korrek, edelagbare.
That is indeed so.
You also provided support to the people that were in the office, not so, to
Edelagbare, ek het ondersteuning verleen aan die gesinne van mense wat daar gewerk het, wat uitstedig was.
I supported family members of the officers that were working in the police force.
I take it Hans Gloy and Van Niekerk, they work throughout the country, nationally.
Ek kan nie kommentaar lewer op waar hulle gewerk het, wat hulle gedoen het nie, edelagbare.
I can't comment as to where were they working.
Edelagbare, mag ek net iets verduidelik asseblief?
Eerder, sê eerder.
In Kompelgebou by die teenterroriste eenheid was daar 2 afdelings.
Okay. At the Compol, there was this terrorist unit, and there were 2 different units there.
Die een afdeling was 'n ondervragingsafdeling.
And the other one was
En die ander afdeling was 'n ondersoekafdeling.
the other one was an inquiry unit,
Investigation and interrogation.
and the other one was
Edelagbare, die werk en die doen en late van hierdie mense was uiters geheim. Edelagbare?
Both units,
so
secretary.
Both units.
beide van die units.
Ja. Ek het wat hulle gedoen het en wat daar gebeur het, is onder geen omstandighede met buitestanders gedeel nie. En omdat ek nie 'n lid was van een van hierdie afdelings nie, is ek basies as 'n buitestander beskou. Met ander woorde, daar is van daardie inligting wat ek nie gehad nie.
Yes, well, I did not have any information with regard to these units.
Because you are treated as an outsider.
Yes. As the court pleases.
Right, but you did provide support to the families if they were away.
Yes.
Tell me, you also coordinated between Compol building and the other security branches?
Die edelagbare, ek het geskakel met my administratiewe werk, my administratiewe pos by die teenterroriste eenheid in die Kompelgebou en die hoofkantoor.
So there's 3. The Compol, the administrative werk, and the hoofkantoor. Is it so?
Correct.
Yes, I communicated with the Compol, my administration job as well as the head office.
Edelagbare, ek moes byvoorbeeld reis en verblyf-eise moes ek gaan inhandig by die hoofkantoor want hulle het die betalings gedoen. Ek het nie betalings gedoen nie, ek het nie geld gehanteer nie.
Yeah, for an example, the head office would do the payment of the places where these people were staying.
Did you liaise with John Foster Square?
Ek het John Foster, ekskuus Edelagbare, ek het John Foster glad nie geken nie. Ek het nooit soontoe gegaan nie.
I did not know John Foster Square. I never went to John Foster Square.
But you knew Colonel Greyland.
Edelagbare, ek het hom glad nie geken nie.
I did not know Colonel Greyland.
After the incident where Ahmed Timol left the window, is it not so that your previous evidence said that you went to Colonel Greyland?
Dit is so Edelagbare, maar ek het hom agterna leer ken.
Ja,
Nadat Timol deur die venster was.
Yeah, I knew him after the incident.
So at the time of the incident, when after you've looked through the window, where did you meet up with Colonel Greyland?
Edelagbare, ek het toe Timol deur die venster gespring het ek uitgestorm uit die kantoor uit in die gang in en ek het geskree, Timol het gespring.
When Timol jumped over the window, I went out of the office into the passage and I started screaming,
Die mense het uit die kantore uitgekom
saying that Timol has jumped over the window and people came out of their offices.
en soos ek van die getuienis beskryf het Edelagbare, het hulle almal na die venster toe gegaan en almal die liggaam gesien onder lê en ons is almal af na die grondvloer toe, maar
As much as I've already mentioned that what transpired on that day in question, thereafter we peeped through that window and everybody went down to the ground floor where Timol was lying.
Maar in hierdie deurmekaar spil het 'n man, 'n offisier van my gesê ek is Kolonel Greyland. Edelagbare.
Uit vir u verwar na kolonel Greyland.
Ekskuus, is dit die antwoord Edelagbare?
Ja, ek vra, ek wil verstaan.
Greyland.
Ja, Greyland,
Ja.
ja.
Dit is waar, dit is hoe ek weet, daar was 'n kolonel Greyland gewees Edelagbare.
You say Colonel Greyland came to you and introduced himself.
Nou, in die deurmekaar spil Edelagbare,
Yes?
het kolonel Greyland vir my gesê, ek is kolonel Greyland.
Ja, hy het homself
Hy
voorgestel.
het hom self voorgestel as kolonel Greyland.
Ja,
Yes, that's what I was asking.
Yes.
Ja.
You did not go to him.
No.
You say in the course of all this confusion, he came and said, I am Colonel Greyland.
Dis korrek Edelagbare.
And what happened next? Did you get to know him?
Nee, Edelagbare, ek was nie bevriend met hom nie.
While
I
we,
did not know him.
sorry. While we are on introductions and names, you said you ran into the corridor and said, Timol het gespring. Is that correct?
Dis korrek Edelagbare.
That is correct.
You gave evidence earlier today that there was a strong need to know basis. You never knew what Hans Gloy, what Captain Gloy or Van Niekerk did. There was secrecy about that, not so.
Dis korrek Edelagbare.
That is correct.
And you came to John Foster about 3:30 that afternoon.
Edelagbare, ek kan nie, dis te lank gelede, ek kan nie die tye presies onthou nie.
We'll come back to that. You did not partake in the interrogation of the detainee at that stage.
Ek het niks te doen gehad met ondervinding, met ondervragings nie, edelagbare.
I had nothing to do with the interrogation of Timol, and also do not remember as to what time did I arrive at the John Foster Square.
In fact, after taking in the 3 cups of coffee, you stood at the table on the eastern part of that table, not so?
Edelagbare, ek het die koffie ingeneem, die skinkbord op die tafel neergesit en aan Timol se regterkant by die tafel gestaan. Ek is nie seker met oos en wes en daai windrigtings nie.
You
Yeah,
s-
I took the coffee, put the tray on the table, and I stood on the right side of where Timol was standing. Is it correct?
Are you quite sure that you stood on the right side of Timol?
Sover as wat ek kan onthou, edelagbare, het ek aan die regterkant van Timol gestaan by die tafel.
Yeah, as much as I can remember, I remember that I stood on the right side of where Timol.
I want you
Timol
to
was
have a look
standing.
at C8, my lord. I don't know if you've still got C8 in front of you. I want you to have a look at that photograph where you depicted in it, and just state where you were standing. C8, my lord. Do you still have the photograph in front of you?
Wat er in die-
Yes.
Yeah, that's C8, yes.
If you say you stood on the right side of Timol, do you say at chair C?
No. Die stoel C, edelagbare, was aan die kant van die tafel. Timol het aan die ander,
The chair marked C, it's on the other side of the table.
Timol het op die, sal ek dit nou noem, edelagbare, die lang kant van die tafel gesit. Maar die stoel C was aan die kant van die tafel. Die kort kant van die tafel.
So explain to us, where did you stand?
Ek het, ek volgens wat ek kan onthou, edelagbare, het ek aan die regterkant van stoel B teen die tafel gestaan.
So I was standing on the rechterkant
Ja,
van die stoel B.
ja.
I was standing on the right side of the chair marked B,
As far
as I can remember.
that's good.
Right. You did not partake in the questioning. In fact, there was no questioning at that stage, no interrogation at that stage.
Toe ek die vertrek binnekom, was dit stil. Niemand het gepraat nie, edelagbare, daar was nie ondervragings gewees.
Yeah, when I entered the office, it was quiet. There were no questions asked or any people talking.
And then, after the mysterious Mr. X came in, Captain Gloy and Van Niekerk left that office, not so?
Edelagbare, toe die man wat ek nie ken nie, ingekom het en gesê het, hulle het, ek kan nie meer mooi onthou nie, ek verbeel my dit was 3 mense geïdentifiseer en gearresteer wat meelopers van Timol was.
Okay. Hulle was 3 mense wat meer lopers gewees het wat Timol wat daar gewees het. Also, there were other 3 people who were also connected to Timol, who also came in there.
That's correct.
No, did not come in there. This mysterious person mentioned that there were 3 people who have also been arrested.
Correct, edelagbare.
And thereafter, the 2 captains left that office.
Edelagbare, die Gloy en Van Niekerk het vir mekaar gekyk.
Joy and Van Niekerk, they looked at each other.
Dit was nou nadat die onbekende man die vertrek verlaat het.
And that was after this mysterious person left the office.
En Gloy, edelagbare, het aan Van Niekerk verduidelik dat hulle moet die vertrek verlaat.
And they explained to Van Niekerk that they need to vacate the office.
Eerlagbare toe het, voordat hulle uit die vertrek uit weg is, het Gloy vir my gevra om vir 'n paar minute, net vir 'n paar minute na die man te kyk. Hulle sal gou weer terug wees.
And before they left, there's a Joy now.
Gloy.
Yeah, Joy instructed me to keep guard on Timor. They will soon be back.
I don't want you to repeat your evidence. We'll come to that later. What I want to put to you specifically, and I'll put it to you, you did not have a conversation with the detainee.
Ek het geen, ons het nie met mekaar gepraat nie. Ek en Timol het nie met mekaar gepraat nie, Eerlagbare.
Yeah, we never spoke to each other, myself and Timor.
And you had no background as to the business and what was going on there, not so.
Dis korrek, Eerlagbare.
That is correct.
How would you have known that Timor had jumped? How can you run out and shout, Timor had jumped? How could you know that?
Wel, dit is, Eerlagbare, dit is die enigste manier hoe hy deur die venster kon gaan.
That was the only way in which he had to do in jumping over the window.
That's not the question. The question is, you were not introduced to him. You did not have a background. How did you know Timor had jumped? How do you know the name Timor?
Oh. Hans Gloy het vir my gesê, dit is Timol hierdie. Dit is 'n
Hans
baie
Gloy-
waardevolle getuie.
Hans Doy told me that this is Timon, and this is one of the witnesses.
That is now new evidence. It's the first time that we hear it.
Lord, with great respect,
No?
it's not. That was his evidence in chief,
No.
that he was told when he entered the room that this is Mr. Timol.
Was that in his evidence in chief? I didn't hear it.
My Lord,
I took notes, my lord, and really I went
I
through that
didn't
notes
hear.
last night, and I want to put it categorically that he was not introduced to this witness.
my Lord, as leading the witness, I don't take notes. That was my recollection. Maybe I've read it. If I'm wrong, Lord. But
Yes, my notes don't indicate that either. It's the first time I hear that you was told by Gloy that this is Timor.
Lord, I will withdraw and I will apologize there that I thought he did.
Because believe me, I would have followed up on that question. I would have wanted to know why did Gloy introduce Timor to him? For what purpose?
Yes.
Yes,
Lord,
it was never stated in evidence.
Then I
in chief.
apologize, Lord.
Yes.
Thank you.
Continue.
You've made an addition now, and he said he was valuable. Why would he have told you that this man is valuable?
Ek weet nie, Eerlagbare, ek weet nie, hy het dit vir my gesê, hierdie is Timol, hy's 'n waardevolle getuie. Dis
I
al.
don't know why did he say that this is a valuable witness.
Why did he tell you that? Why did he tell you that you just brought the checks and the coffee and you never participated in any interrogation according to your evidence? You did not even know anything about investigation. Out of the blue, after you told this court that the activities of the units were eiters geheim, that's the word you used, secret. Now here is Captain Gloy says to you, this is Timor, a valuable find. Why would he say that to you?
Eerlagbare, ek vermoed, dit was om my te laat besef dat ek versigtig moet wees, dat ek hierdie man goed moet oppas.
So I suspect that for him to have told me that is a valuable witness, I should take care of him. I must make sure that he doesn't do anything.
You say he told you when you came in with a tray that had coffee and checks.
Dis korrek, eerlagbare.
That is correct.
Now, why would he have expected you to keep guard of Timol? Because at that time, according to your version, Mr. X had not come in yet to tell them about the other 3 that they've arrested. Why would he talk about you guarding Timol at that stage when you brought the tray?
Nee, eerlagbare, hy het dit nie vir my gesê toe ek die koffie ingebring het nie en die checks oorhandig het nie. Hy het dit eers vir my gesê toe hulle uit die vertrek uit, voordat hulle uit die vertrek uitgegaan het, net voordat hulle uit die vertrek uitgegaan het, het hy vir my gesê, dis Timol, dis 'n waardevolle getuie.
Did you tell that to the magistrate in 1972?
Ek kan nie onthou nie, eerlagbare.
I'll tell you now that in the judgment of the magistrate it doesn't appear.
So ek kan nie onthou die eerlagbare.
And similarly, in the affidavit that you submitted then, it doesn't appear.
Ek weet nie, eerlagbare.
Continue.
Thank you, my lord. You see, you changed your evidence just now again. Initially, you were introduced to him as Timol, and he was said he was valuable. Now, at a later stage, it was said that he was valuable. Not so.
Nee,
Is it this one?
nee, eerlagbare, dis nie so nie.
No, it's not correct.
Now, explain. You were introduced to Timol. Was anything else said about him being valuable when you were introduced to him?
Nee, eerlagbare.
No,
That's in direct contradiction to the evidence that you've given just before.
Dit is eers, eerlagbare, kan ek net verduidelik, dit was eers toe Gloy hulle uit die vertrek uitgegaan het, dat hy vir my gesê het, dit is Timol as 'n waardevolle getuie.
voor hulle uitgegaan het van die kantoor af.
Voor dit het hy dit nie vir my gesê nie.
Before they went outside the office, that is when they told me that this is a valuable witness.
So the introduction, Timol and valuable, is not connected in any way.
Nee, eerlagbare, ek het Timol glad nie geken nie.
No, it's not connected. I did not know Timon.
And when the captain told you that, I take it that you were ultra cautious. You were really looking after this man.
Dis korrek, eerlagbare.
That is correct.
Now, going on with your evidence in chief, yesterday you could not really remember the time that you went to John Foster. But I put it to you, in your own statement it stands at 3:30 in the afternoon. And it's also in the statement of Van Niekerk and Gloy that you went there at 3:30. Do you dispute that?
Eerlagbare, ek kan dit nie onthou nie. Dis te lank gelede.
I cannot remember whether I was at John Foster Square at about 3:30.
I'm not asking whether you can remember that, I'm asking whether you dispute the affidavits of Bo Van Niekerk, Gloy, as well as yourself, and I can quote it to you. It's in paragraph 5 of Hans Gloy's affidavit. It's Exhibit F. It's paragraph 7 of Van Niekerk's evidence, and in your own, it's paragraph 2 that you said it was 3:30. Do you dispute that you went to John Foster at 3:30?
Eerlagbare, toe ek daai verklaring afgelê het, toe was dit nog vars in my geheue.
When I took down the statement, I could recall each and every incident that happened.
Maar na 46 jaar, eerlagbare, kan ek dit nie onthou nie.
But after 46 years, I cannot remember as to what happened.
Listen, Mr. Rodriguez, the question is not whether you can remember. The question is whether you would dispute what appears in the affidavits. Do you dispute that?
Stry
Nee, eerlagbare.
u dat is so geskryf in u se verklaring deur meneer Gloy en meneer Van Niekerk.
Nee, eerlagbare, ek ontken dit nie.
No, I don't dispute it.
the point that I want to get to is this incident happened at more or less 4 o'clock. Is that correct? 4 o'clock in the afternoon. The incident where he got out of the window.
Sover ek kan onthou was dit of net kort voor 4 of weet ek het nie ek kan nie presiese tye onthou nie.
If my mind serves me well, is it 4:15? Kwart voor 4 of? Ek het dit nie meer
Shortly
gehoor nie.
before 4.
Yeah,
Shortly before 4.
Shortly before 4 o'clock.
The bottom line is you were in his presence for more or less half an hour. Is that not so?
Volgens wat in die verklaring staan, edelagbare, behoort dit so te wees. Maar ek kan dit nie onthou nie.
Yeah, I cannot remember it, but in the manner in which it's now written on the statement, it can so wees.
Kan so wees.
Yeah, it can be this, what is written in the statement.
And you've taken a tray with 3 cups of coffee. Is that correct?
Dit is korrek, edelagbare.
It is true that I took 3 cups of coffee into that office.
The impression that's also created here is that detainees get coffee, not so.
Ek kan dit nie sê nie, ek kan nie so iets sê nie, edelagbare, want ek nie geweet nie, ek was nooit betrokke by hierdie ondervragings nie, so ek weet nie.
No, I wouldn't know because I was not part and parcel of this torture.
You say you don't know. Did you not see Mr. Timol drinking the coffee?
Edelagbare, ek het nie geweet of dit 'n normale ding is dat koffie vir aangehoudenes gegee word nie, want ek was nooit betrokke daarbey nie. Al wat ek gedoen het was, edelagbare, om die koffie in te vat soontoe.
Nou die vraag is, het u nie vir Timol gesien drink koffie? Dit is die vraag.
Die drie van hulle, edelagbare, het koffie gedrink.
The 3 of them drank the coffee.
Mr. Rodriguez, the 3 cups is going to become very important later on. When you fell over the chair, a cup didn't fall from the table, did it?
No, I haven't, ek weet nie daarvan nie, edelagbare.
I don't know of anything in relation to counsel's statement or question.
Were you aware that Captain Gloy and Captain van Niekerk, thank you, have been busy with this investigation since Friday?
Nee, edelagbare, ek het geen kennis van daai ondersoek gedra nie.
I did not know any information in relation to that.
Now, I want to talk to you. You took salary checks to them.
Korrek, edelagbare, ek het Gloy se en van Niekerk se salarischecks toe gevat en 'n verseelde koevert.
Yeah, it is true that I took Joyce and Van Niekerk's salary checks to them as well as a sealed envelope.
On the 27th of October, on that time of the month, can you explain to us, on the 27th you took salary checks?
Edelagbare, ek het nie geweet, ek het nie kennis gedra van hoe, waar en wanneer checks uitgereik word nie. Ek het net die checks ontvang.
I did not know as to when are those checks being issued. I received the check, only received the checks.
And you're sure it was salary checks?
Ja, ek is seker dit was salarischecks.
Well, I'm definitely sure that those checks were salary checks.
Now, After taking the tray in with the 3 cups of coffee, what did you do?
Ek het die skinkbord met 3 koppies koffie op die tafel neergesit en vir Gloy sy check gegee, wat natuurlik in koeverte toe was, né? Vir Gloy gegee en vir Van Niekerk gegee. En vir Gloy die verseelde koevert ook gegee.
Yeah, after putting down the tray which had coffee, I then gave Joy a check as well as Van Niekerk and the other envelope that was also in those items that I gave them.
What I want to know, what did you do? Did you stand there or did you disappear in the background or did you stand there at the table? What did you do?
Eerlagbare, ek het by die tafel bly staan op dieselfde plek, ek het nie wegbeweeg nie.
I kept standing at the table. I never moved around.
And there was a chair, you could have sit down if you wanted.
Maar ek het nie eerlagbare, ek het bly staan.
No, I didn't sit on a chair. I kept standing.
Why?
Ek kan nie sê hoekom nie eerlagbare,
I can't
want
say
ek
why.
ek het gewag vir 'n opdrag van Gloy af.
I can't say why did I not sit down. I waited for an instruction from Lloyd.
And eventually after Gloy and Van Niekerk left, you moved from that position to go and sit on chair number A, not so?
Dis korrek eerlagbare.
And after that is correct. Okay.
So you went around the left side of the table to go and sit on it.
Nou. Dis A.
It's B.
Ja, ek het dis korrek want Van die kerk het op stoel nommer C gesit.
Yes, that's correct. I went in by A stoel gaan sit.
That's right.
Yeah, I want to sit on the A, the chair marked A, and because Van Niekerk was seated on the chair marked C.
Korrek.
No, the question is, how did you get to A? Did you move to the left or did you come through on the right?
Yes,
No, I moved from
was
the,
met linkerkant
through the
of met
left.
regter?
ja, ek het aan die linkerkant om van die stoel ombeweeg na stoel A toe.
So as van hierso af, so
Ja, om die tafel. That's right.
I left, yes, it's from where I was standing to the left side of the table into the chair marked A.
Correct.
My lord, I see it's 15:15. Maybe it's an apt time for...
Yes, we'll adjourn for 15 minutes. I'll be back at 11:30.
Yeah, Roderick.
Don't worry.
And I think it might be worth again from Parliament or from this committee a letter to the President saying
Kilana own.
Yes, no, yes, Honor, yeah.
Thank you, Your Lordship. Now, Mr. Rodriguez, we were where you were standing on the side of the table there. You did not sit down.
I did not sit down. Ek het nie gaan sit nie, edelagbare.
I did not sit down.
So you would have only glanced on Mr. Ahmed Timol from the top, not so.
That's correct. Dis correct, edelagbare.
That is correct. I see.
Somebody entered the room. No, not so. Somebody entered the room and said some co-conspirators got arrested.
Dis correct, edelagbare.
That is correct.
Was this person in uniform? Can you tell us anything about this person?
Nou, die persoon was nie in uniform nie, hy was in privaat klere geklee, maar ek het hom glad nie geken nie.
Yeah, that person that entered the office was clad in civilian clothes.
Now, did he just walk into that office?
Ja. Hy het by die deur ingekom en ingestap, edelagbare.
He entered through the door into the office.
There was no control over him. He could just walk in.
Dis korrek, edelagbare.
That's correct.
And he referred to Quentin, Jacobson, Henry and Martin, not so.
Ek kan nie die name onthou nie, edelagbare.
I cannot recall the names.
Did you read through your statement again before coming to give evidence?
Ek het deur hom gelees, edelagbare.
Yes, I did read through my statement.
And did you see the names of Quentin, Jacobson, Henry and Martin in your statement?
Ek kan nie onthou nie, edelagbare.
I can't remember as to whether did I see those names.
But what you can remember is that they got arrested.
Dit is wat die man gesê het, edelagbare.
That is what I was told.
Sover as wat ek kon onthou.
Not identified, arrested.
Sover ek kan onthou, edelagbare, het hy gesê hy is geïdentifiseer en gearresteer.
What I can remember is that they were identified and they were also arrested.
Dit is sover ek kan onthou.
That's what I can remember.
Yesterday you gave evidence that they got arrested. This morning you gave evidence that they got identified and arrested.
Ja.
Yes.
I want to put it to you that three persons were not arrested at that stage.
Ek mag 'n fout gemaak het, edelagbare, ek kan nie onthou nie.
I might have made a mistake.
Nou kom die belangrike getuienis wat u lewer. U sê in Afrikaans, Timol was sigbaar geskok en het benoud gelyk.
Dis korrek, edelagbare.
Yeah, now you coming with this statement that says Timol was shocked and sigbaar. And one could see that he was shocked.
I want to put it to you that you didn't know Mr. Ahmed Timol from a bar of soap.
Ek het Ahmed Timol nie van tevore geken nie, maar ek kan onthou dat hy geskok gelyk het, sy oë was groot en hy het sy kop geskit en hy het van een na die ander na ons gekyk.
Yeah, I did not know met Timol before, but all what I can remember is that he was shocked. His eyes were big and he was looking from one side to the other.
Maar jy kon geen beserings sien. You could see no injuries.
Ek het geen beserings aan Timol gesien nie, edelagbare.
I did not see any injuries sustained on his body.
Not on his nose, not on his jaw, not on his temple.
Nee, edelagbare, ek het nie sulke beserings aan hom gesien nie.
No, I did not see such injuries.
And when this happened, you were still standing on his right side. Not so.
Korrek, edelagbare.
And you were facing Gloy,
Ek was facing Gloy. Is korrek, edelagbare.
but you could see his face.
Ja, ek het sy gesig van die kant af gesien, edelagbare.
I saw his face on the side.
We'll come later when you sat over him at the later stage. This very same sentence appear also in Captain Gloy and Van Niekerk's statement that he was shocked after those words. Not so.
Dis korrek, edelagbare. Ek het nie Gloy en Van Niekerk se
Verklaring.
verklaringe gesien nie.
Yeah, it might be correct, but I did not see Joyce and Van Niekerk's statements.
And now after this mysterious Mr. X, did he just leave?
Hy het die kantoor verlaat, edelagbare.
He then left the office, this mysterious person.
The two captains didn't want to stop him and say, hey, give us more information. What happened? Tell us more. They just left.
Ja. Hy het net die kantoor verlaat en edelagbare.
He just left the office.
And then Captain Gloy instructed you to look carefully after this man. They're going to leave for a short while.
Gloy het vir my Gloy het vir Van Niekerk beduie dat hulle die vertrek moes verlaat.
Joy told Van Niekerk that they should leave the office.
En toe het Gloy vir my gesê ek moet Timol bewaak.
And Joy then instructed me to keep guard on Timol.
Is that all?
Ek het toe Gloy se plek ingeneem op stoel A.
Before getting to that, did Captain Gloy say anything else except look after this man?
Hy het niks gesê nie, edelagbare. Al wat hy gesê het is dat hulle sal gou weer terug wees. Hulle sal nie lank weg wees nie.
Yeah, all what he said is that I must keep guard to Timol and that they wouldn't be long, they will soon be back.
Is that all he said?
Dit is al wat hy gesê het, edelagbare.
That's all what he said.
Ekskuus, ek wil net edelagbare, ek wil net 'n ding duidelik stel.
Say,
Mag ek?
Ja.
Gloy het die koevert oopgemaak. Ek wou loop.
I wanted to leave, but Joy opened the
Maar toe
envelope
sê Gloy vir my, ek moet nie loop nie, ek moet net wag tot hy die koevert oopgemaak het.
and Joy said to me I mustn't leave because he wanted to open up the envelope.
En hy het toe die koevert oopgemaak
He opened the envelope
en die inhoud uitgehaal
and he took out the contents.
en dit is toe. Sover ek kan onthou is toe die man ingestap het.
And
en
what,
gesê,
and what I can remember, simultaneously then came in this mysterious person.
Is that the man that announced that the three persons got arrested?
dis korrek, edelagbare.
Why
That
do you
is
refer
correct.
to that now?
Ek het nie mooi gehoor nie.
Why do you refer to that evidence now? I ask you what Lloyd told you when they left the office, just before he left the office. Why do you refer to this?
Dit was deel van die gebeure, edelagbare. Ek wil dit duidelik maak dat u kan verstaan hoe dit gewerk het.
Yeah, that was part of what happened. I just wanted to explain as to give a clearer picture as to what was happening inside that office.
He didn't warn you that this was a valuable witness and you've got to look after him well when he left.
Ja, hy het dit vir my gesê, edelagbare.
He did tell me that this is a valuable witness.
Right. Now, after he left the office, you went on the left-hand side of the table and you sat at chair A, not so.
Dis korrek, edelagbare.
That is indeed so.
Ahmed Timol just stared, according to your evidence yesterday.
En die edelagbare in daardie stadium toe ek onbeweegd na die stoel toe om daar te gaan sit, toe Timol nog gesit.
Het hy nog gesit?
Het nog gesit
Ja,
op stoel B.
when I was on my way to go and sit on the chair marked A, Ahmed Timol was still seated on chair marked B.
Did he stare? That's the question.
Pardon?
Het hy gekyk?
Did he stare? Hy gestaar in die verte. Did he stare?
Ja,
Yes.
You did not have a conversation with him.
ek het nooit 'n woord met hom gepraat nie, edelagbare.
I did not utter a word with him.
When he stared, he did not look shocked.
Ek verstaan nie die vraag nie, edelagbare.
If he stared,
Ja,
you just look and stared. He did not look shocked.
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 he looked, hy het geskok gelyk, edelagbare, toe die man ingekom het en genoem het dat hulle die mense gearresteer het.
He looked shocked when this person came into the office and said that there are other people that were arrested.
Hy het 'n uitdrukkinglose gesig gehad en in een rigting gestaar.
And he had a pertinent stare and he looked on the other side.
Nadat ek ombeweeg het na die stoel A toe.
When I then moved to the chair marked A,
So he wasn't shocked anymore.
Ek weet nie, edelagbare, ek is nie 'n kenner nie, ek kan nie sê of hy nog geskok was of nie.
I do not know. I can't say whether I was still shocked or not.
As I would say in Afrikaans, you've written a number of books, and in Afrikaans they use the word, you are wel ter tale. Do you agree with that?
Ek stem saam, edelagbare, in Afrikaans.
I do agree with the council's submission.
And for restoring, you use the Afrikaans word now, uitdrukkinglose. Is that correct?
Dis korrek, edelagbare.
That is correct.
Right. Then he asked you that you must take him to the toilets, not so.
Dis korrek, edelagbare.
That is correct.
One would have expected that he would have think that once again you would have moved on the western side. No, the eastern side of the table. You went around the eastern side of the table, that once again you would have moved around the eastern side of the table, not so.
Nee, edelagbare, dit is nie te sê nie. Dit is nie te sê dat ek sou beweeg het soos wat ek soontoe gegaan het nie.
No, it doesn't mean that it could have happened in the manner in which I went to the other side of or to go to the side of where the chair was.
Right? You stood up and you moved to your left-hand side, to chair C, the other side.
Dis korrek, edelagbare.
That is correct.
Were you still very cautious?
Ek was versigtig, maar dit was 'n ontspanne atmosfeer wat geheers het, edelagbare.
Yeah, I was still cautious.
Why do you say it was a ontspanne, a relaxed atmosphere?
Daar was nie spanning nie, edelagbare, want ek het hom nie ondervra nie. Ons het bloot gesit. Ons het daar gesit.
I thought he was shocked because of the revelations of Quentin Jacobson.
Dit is moontlik, edelagbare, ek kan nie sê nie.
It's possible, but I can't say.
Why is it that you say you cannot say?
Ek is nie 'n kenner nie, edelagbare.
You were able to tell the court that you saw him shocked when you were standing beside him, when he was seated. And when you come to sit opposite him, you are unable to say whether he was shocked or not. How can you explain that?
Ja, ek kan aanvaar dat ek nog geskok was, edelagbare, maar toe ek op die stoel gaan sit het, toe het Timol voor hom uitgestaar in een rigting. Sy gesig was uitdrukkingloos.
Yeah, well, I can't say whether was he was he still shocked, but at the time when I went to sit on the other side of the chair, he stared at me, and he did not look shocked.
No, it's wrong.
His face was expressionless. Is that
His
what
face
you're
was
saying?
expressionless, en hy het na links gestaar, edelagbare.
Oh, he looked on the left side.
Ja. He didn't stare at me at all, edelagbare.
You say he looked to the left.
Yes.
He was not facing in your direction.
He was facing in my direction, but his head was turned slightly and he was looking into another direction to the left, and he was staring.
Can I continue? Thank you, my lord. Thank you, lordship. So you moved to your left towards chair number C, not so.
That's correct, edelagbare.
And you
That is correct.
and you put your hands on chair C, not so.
I put my hand on.
You put your hands on the back of chair C.
That's correct.
That is correct.
I take it while you walk around the table, you would have good peripheral view of everything that happens around you.
Dis korrek, edelagbare.
That is correct.
And then, did you push the chair back?
Ja, my oë was, edelagbare, my oë was gerig op die stoel,
My eyes were directly
Toe ek hom-
looking at the chair,
toe ek hom onder die tafel instoot,
and when I was pushing the chair underneath the table,
But I would put it, while you did that, your peripheral view would still have Ahmed Timol in your sight.
dis nie heeltemal nie, edelagbare, gedeeltelik.
not completely in that manner, but a part of it, yes.
Wat my edelagbare, my oë was gerig op die stoel wat ek instoot.
Because my eyes were concentrated on the chair which I was pushing.
Yes, and then?
Toe, edelagbare, in die hoek van my oog, het ek 'n beweging gesien.
And the corner of my eye, I then saw a movement,
En ek het opgekyk,
and I then looked up
vinnig opgekyk.
very fast.
Toe was Timol al besig om die tafel te beweeg.
And at that point in time, he was now trying to move around the table.
Alles het baie vinnig gebeur, edelagbare. Dit is
Everything happened so fast.
Dit het in breekdele van 'n sekonde gebeur.
It could have happened in some seconds.
En ek wou vir 'n oomblik agter hom aan beweeg, maar ek het besef dat sy stoel in my pad staan, edelagbare.
And I wanted to move on the side in which he was moving, but the chair was on my way.
Maar dit was als in 'n breekdeel van 'n sekonde.
And that happened in the midst of within seconds.
No, not seconds.
Splits of seconds.
In a part of a second. And then I moved to the right.
You backtracked. You went the same way you came.
Ja. Maar ek het baie vinnig probeer, ek het so vinnig probeer beweeg as wat ek kon.
And I tried to move as fast as I could.
Maar stoel A, edelagbare, was in my pad.
But the chair marked A was in my way.
En Timol was al reeds besig om deur die venster te beweeg.
And Timol was at that point in time moving towards the window,
No, not towards, through the window.
or through the window.
Ja. En ek het instinktief geprobeer duik om hom in die hande te kry,
And I tried intensively to dive to just get hold of him.
maar die stoel het my gekeer en ek het my balans verloor.
And the chair blocked me and I lost my balance.
En ek het op die grond beland,
And I ended
op die
up
vloer beland,
on the floor.
en toe ek regop kom, was Timol al reeds weg.
And when I stood up, he was already gone.
Let's take it slowly. This evidence about the dive is yet a new version. We're at the 5th version now.
Ja, edelagbare, dit is baie lank gebeur, lank gelede gebeur, dit is 46 jaar gelede gebeur. En ek kan nie presies onthou hoe dit gebeur het, maar dit is min of meer soos wat dit gebeur het.
Yeah, it might be true because this incident happened long ago. I cannot say it as it happened on that day in question.
When you dive, did you reach out for him?
Ek moes instinktief my hand uitgesteek het om hom te probeer in die hande kry, edelagbare.
Yeah, I would have tried to stretch out my hand just to grab it.
I'll argue to the court that this is the biggest improbability of your version. A big man like you, a sporty man like you, and the guy get around you to get out of this window. I'll argue to this court and we'll go through it in detail, but I'm just putting it to you that this is the biggest improbability of your version.
Edelagbare, ek beskryf dit so goed as wat ek dit kon onthou. Dit is 46 jaar gelede wat dit gebeur het.
I'm explaining it in the manner in which it happened, and the court must remember that this incident happened 46 years ago.
Let's take it slowly. Firstly, I want to put it to you, when you moved around the table to chair number C, there's no need to look down. You could do that while your head was upright. There's no need that you look down. What do you say to that?
My oë was op die stoel gerig, edelagbare, want ek het hom ingestoot onder die tafel.
My eyes were looking on the chair because I wanted to push it underneath the table.
Even looking at the chair, you could still see Mr. Timol, is my argument.
Toe ek die stoel onder die tafel ingestoot het, het ek 'n beweging uit die hoek van my oog uit gesien.
When I was pushing the chair underneath the table, I saw a movement on the corner of my eye.
And you
Soos wat ek beskryf het, edelagbare.
And that is how I've explained.
And you'd still had time to consider whether you should go around where chair B is or to backtrack, to go back the way you did. You still had time to consider which way would be the best.
Edelagbare, die tyd waarna verwys word, was breekdele van 'n sekonde. Dit het bitter vinnig, dit het baie vinnig gebeur.
It happened very, very fast.
Dit is nie asof ek tyd gehad het om te dink nie. Die dinge het binne 'n breekdele van 'n sekonde gebeur en dit het baie vinnig gebeur.
Okay.
I never had even time to think about it.
Let's take the first contradictory statement. Shortly after this incident, Brigadier Patel came to interview you. Right?
Is it so?
Dis korrek.
That is correct.
At the same time, he summoned the photographer back, Pieter van der Merwe back, and you did 3 pointing outs there.
Ek het aan Brigadier Tuttle verduidelik wat gebeur het.
I explained, Brigadier,
And he was not one of the
What
senior
happened?
officers that wanted to influence you.
Ekskuus, ek het nie mooi gehoor nie.
He was not one of the senior officers that wanted to prescribe to you which version to
No.
present to the inquest court.
Ek kan nie onthou dat hy my ooit beïnvloed het nie.
I cannot remember as to him being one of the officers that wanted to influence me.
According to the version that you supplied to Brigadier Patel, you did not backtrack, but you moved around way B. That's his version to the inquest court, specifically.
Eerlaagbare, ek sal dit so verduidelik. Nie een van die offisiere wat my gevra het, daar was 'n paar wat my gevra het, 'n hele paar wat gebeur het. Nie een van hulle het aantekeninge gemaak van wat ek hulle vertel het.
Yeah, there's a few of them that questioned me, but none of them took down all what I said to them as to what happened, or wrote it down as to what happened.
Maybe they did took notes, but when they constructed their final statement, they discarded their notes. Is that a possibility?
Hulle het nooit aantekeninge gemaak terwyl hulle met my gepraat het, die eerlaagbare.
They never wrote down anything at the time when they spoke to me.
Luckily, at that very night, in less than an hour after the incident, 3 pictures were taken. Let's go through Brigadier Patel's statement. You also told him that you sat on chair A, and you indicated that Ahmed Timol asked to go to the toilet, that you stood up at the same time. You indicated to Brigadier Patel that you moved the left way through to C, and that you saw Ahmed Timol move to the southern south, to the window.
Eerlaagbare, ek kan net vir u ek hou nie daarvan as hulle van rigtings praat nie. Hy het linksom beweeg.
Yeah, I don't like when they talk about directions, but he went through the left side.
Yeah. Brigadier Patel that saw you within an hour after this incident, where I take it that this was still fresh in your memory, his version is that you did not move past chair A, but that you moved past chair B.
Dit is verkeerd, eerlaagbare.
It's wrong.
You described to Patel that he dived from the floor through the window. Is that correct?
Eerlaagbare, dit het baie lank gelede gebeur en ek kan nie presies onthou wat alles gebeur het nie.
Yeah, it happened quite a long time ago. I cannot remember each and every aspect as to what happened, each and everything.
Demonstrate to us, or tell us in your own words, exactly how did Ahmed Timol get through that window?
Dit is baie moeilik, eerlaagbare, om dit te beskryf. Ek kan dit nie duidelik onthou nie.
It's difficult. I cannot explain it in the manner in which it happened.
Why is it difficult? You have just, yesterday in your evidence in chief, you took us through the motions in detail. To this morning you did the same. Why do you say it's difficult for you to explain it?
Want ek was in die beweeg. Ek het baie vinnig beweeg. Dit is moontlik dat ek geduik het. Dit is moontlik, dit is heel moontlik.
Yeah, because I was moving fast and it's possible that I might have taken a dive.
So it's now possible that you took a dive. You're not sure whether you took a dive.
Nou, ek is nie seker eerlaagbare.
Yes, I'm not sure whether I took a dive.
Proceed.
Thank you, my lord. Right, I want to come back. Brigadier Patel insisted that the photographer come back. He already went home, but he said he must come back. He phoned him 4:45, and the photographer arrived at 1740. 5:40. Just 40 minutes past 5 that afternoon, the photographer arrived. You would not dispute that.
Nee, die lagbare, ek kan dit nie onthou nie.
And here I want to discuss Brigadier Patel's evidence with you, and as it's also summed up in the judgment of the court. First, you were asked to put the chairs around the table as they were during the incident. And I want you to have a look at photograph AA2 of volume B. AA2 of volume B. My lord, you can just bear with me.
Sien daai een.
I've got some copies if people don't have all.
Mine is not so legible. I don't know if you have a better.
My lord, at the end, we'll see this is what we have at this stage, but AA2, we will see, I know it's just a faded photograph, but you can still see it's basically just the 3 chairs around there. It's part of the original record of the inquest, my lord.
Yes, I see, but it's faded. It's not so visible. Anyway, go on, make the point.
Yes, my lord. Can it just be shown to the witness also, please? I know it's a faded photograph, but if you look at AA2, you'll see it's quite the same as C8, but here it's just the chairs, not so.
Is it dieselfde?
Die stoel waarop Timol gesit het, lyk vir my meer edelagbare. Die stoel waarop Timol gesit het, lyk vir my asof hy na die regterkant toe geskuif is.
The chair that Timol was sitting on, it looks like it has been moved more on the, as it van die regterkant, to the right side of the
Quite-
tafel, né?
Yeah, quite an
Of the
astute
table.
observation from you. It looks like it's a little bit pulled out of the table, not so.
Korrek, edelagbare.
Okay, then
That is
according to the evidence of Brigadier Patel, you were asked to take in the position where you stood when Timol started moving towards the window. And that is photo AA8, page 67 of volume B. If you can go to photo AA8. That's the southwestern corner where you stand there if you go to AA8.
Ja,
You see that photograph?
korrek, edelagbare.
Yes, I do.
It's next to chair C, not so. You're standing next to chair C. Is that right?
Ja,
And that correlates with your evidence. You said you went to that chair when you saw some movement
ja,
and then you acted. So it correlates that that's it.
korrek, edelagbare.
And now
It
the
is
important
indeed
one.
so.
In the final photo, you were asked by Brigadier Patel to stand where you were when Timol jumped through the window. That's the final photo, and that's AA1. Now we were lucky. AA1 was handed in as an exhibit, and therefore the newspapers could publish this faded photograph. You'll see AA1 is exactly the same as C8. Not so.
Is exactly the one as?
C8. C8. You'll see it's
C8.
exactly the same as C8.
Ja,
Hierdie,
dis reg.
dieselfde soos daai.
Dit lyk na dieselfde foto, edelagbare.
Yes.
It looks the same.
Yeah, and that's a third photo that was taken that very same night, and where you indicated where you stood when you went through the window.
Ek kan nie onthou dat ek ooit so iets gesê het nie, Eerlagbare.
I cannot remember as to whether this is what I told them.
That's the evidence of Brigadier Patel.
Dit mag die getuienis van Brigadier Patel wees, Eerlagbare, maar hy mag 'n fout gemaak het.
Yeah, it might be Brigadier Patel's evidence, but he might have made a mistake.
But you
He's
say,
so-
sorry, you say you don't remember that you said that to him, that you were standing next to the window, as it appears on this photo. You don't remember that.
Het is so gesê dat jy dit nie kan onthou nie.
Jy het net so pas gesê jy kan nie onthou nie. You just said you cannot remember. You cannot remember telling Brigadier Patel that you stood there next to the window.
Nee, ek kan dit nie onthou. Ek kan dit nie onthou dat ek vir Patel ooit dit gesê het nie, Eerlagbare.
Yeah, I cannot remember that I told Patel that.
I'm telling you, it's his evidence.
Dit mag so wees, Eerlagbare.
So, okay, now, how do you explain that position if Timol went through the window while you were standing there?
Toe die foto geneem is, Eerlagbare, het die fotograaf my gevra om daar te gaan staan.
So when
En ek het daar gestaan.
when this photo was taken, the photographer told me to go and stand there.
And he also asked you to go and stand in the other corner, and he indicated to you that you should go and stand in the other corner.
Ja, hulle het verskillende foto's geneem, Eerlagbare.
Yeah, they
Ek kan nie meer onthou presies wat alles geneem is nie, maar hulle het verskillende foto's geneem. So dit is heel moontlik.
They took different photos and it's possible.
So the photographer was doing the pointing out, not you.
Nee.
No.
You see, this correlates with the version that you've given to Brigadier Patel, that you moved around the table, around B, exactly at that stage.
Ek het hom nooit so aanduiding gegee dat ek daar na links om beweeg het nie, Eerlagbare.
I did not give him that information that I moved on the
But
left
here on
side.
the photo you are standing right on that next to the window. On the photograph, you are standing
Ja,
right
ja,
on the
ja.
window. Yeah, what
Ja.
was the reason? What was the reason why you were standing there?
Die fotograaf het my gevra om daar te staan, Eerlagbare.
And the photographer asked me to go and stand there.
Why?
Ek weet nie. I don't know. Ek weet nie, Eerlagbare.
Right now, I weet nie.
I put it to you that the evidence is that you stood there because you said that was the position that you were in when he jumped through the window.
Eerlagbare, dit is nie die posisie waarin ek was nie. Ek was, toe hy deur die venster gegaan het, toe was ek op die grond. Ek was van balans af. Ek was op die vloer.
When he went,
Ek het nie gestaan daar soos wat hy daar aandui nie.
when he went through the window,
Ja,
I was off balance. I was on the ground, on the floor.
But that's what you should have told the photographer. When he asked you to stand there, you should have said, but why should I stand here? I was never here. I was on all fours here, next to the chair A.
dis korrek, Eerlagbare. Ek kan nie daarop antwoord nie. Ek kan nie onthou nie.
I cannot answer that. Submission by counsel or by the court.
I still want to know and come back to how Ahmed Timol got out of the window. Did he dive from the floor?
Eerlagbare, ek het hom nie gesien terwyl hy geduik het, deur die venster geduik het nie. Ek het nie gesien waar hy vasgetrap het nie, om deur die venster te duik nie. Dit het ek nie gesien nie.
But I did not see him diving through the window and where did he stand to be able to dive through the window.
Yeah.
Where he stood.
Want to go to the version that you provided The very next day, you provided the version to General Base. The next day, General Base did have an interview with you, not so?
Dis korrek, edelagbare.
That is indeed so.
And he has spoken to the report at that stage, General Base, and the version that he provided to the report is that the detainee first went to the door.
Nee, edelagbare, ek kan nie kommentaar lewer daarop nie. Ek kan nie kommentaar lewer op koerantberigte nie. Ek kan net vir u kommentaar lewer op wat ek gesien het.
I cannot comment on what the newspaper has written. I can only comment on what happened.
Yeah. I want to continue with the version that you provided yesterday. Now, you then went out of first you looked through the window, not so?
Dit is korrek, edelagbare.
That is correct.
Did you close the window after that?
Ek het nie aan die venster geraak nie, edelagbare.
I didn't touch at the window.
Yes, and then you ran into the corridor
Dis korrek, edelagbare.
That is correct.
and you shouted, Timol het gespring.
Dis korrek, edelagbare.
And you shouted, Timol has jumped.
Where did you see Colonel Greyling?
Dit was so 'n deurmekaarspel, edelagbare. Ek kan nie vir u presies sê nie, maar hy het vir my in die kantoor gesê, terwyl hulle saamgedrom het in die kantoor, het hy vir my gesê hy is kolonel Greyling. Ek het hom nie van tevore geken nie.
I did not know him before, but he introduced himself when they got into the office, and that he is Greyling.
Is he one of the people who came out of the offices when you shouted?
Ek aanvaar dit so, edelagbare, want daar was niemand in die kantoor voor die tyd nie. So hy het uit sy kantoor uitgekom en in daardie kantoor beweeg waar Timol was.
Yeah, I can accept that because there was nobody at that point in time. All the people that came out from their own offices.
The offices leading to 1026. At the end of that corridor, there is a vault, a door, a big door that locks. Am I correct?
Nee, edelagbare, ek kan nie sê
At the end of the corridor.
ek kan dit nie onthou nie, dit is te lank gelede, edelagbare, en ek het die 10de vloer nie geken nie. Ek het daai plek glad nie geken voordat ek die dag daar gekom het nie.
I did not know that place before I came there on that day.
Because the evidence we have heard here is that Colonel Greyling's office was on the 9th floor, not 10th floor.
Ek weet nie, edelagbare, ek kan nie kommentaar lewer daarop nie.
I do not know. I cannot comment on that.
But you still state that he's one of the people who came out of the offices on the 10th floor.
Ek kan nie sê kolonel Greyling het uit die 10de vloer uit die kantoor uitgekom nie, maar hy was in die kantoor nadat Timol gespring het.
Die kantoor waar julle gewees het.
Korrek.
I cannot say whether he was in one of the offices on the 10th floor, but he also was there where Timol went through the window or dived through the window.
Proceed.
Thank you, my lord. Did you ever go to Colonel Greyling's office?
Ek het na 'n offisier se kantoor toe gegaan toe ek na Dlooi en na Van die Kerk gesoek het. Maar ek kan nie sê dit was Greyling se kantoor nie. Dit was 'n offisier, maar ek kan nie onthou wie hy was nie.
No, I went to an office. I was not even aware, or I did not even know whether this office belongs to 'n greiling, but I was looking for Van Niekerk and Bloy.
Was it- Was it on the same floor, on the 10th floor?
Toe ek na Dloy en Van die Kerk gesoek het, was ek op die 10de vloer, Eerlagbare.
Yes, when I was looking for Bloy and Van Niekerk, it was on the 10th floor.
I want to take you to paragraph 16 of your statement that you made for the original inquest. Het jy die verklaring by jou?
Het ek, my verklaring,
Ja, u
my verklaring Eerlagbare.
Your statement. Yes.
16.
Annexure
Third paragraph.
Annexure A, my lord.
Yes. Paragraph 16.
What is that? What's annexure there? M.
And this
16 then.
volume B, annexure M, my lord.
Ja,
Let me read paragraph 16 to you. Ek het onmiddellik uit die kantoor uit gehardloop en gestree dat Timol deur die venster gespring het en die aangeleentheid gerapporteer aan luitenant-kolonel Greiling. How do you explain that?
dit,
Gee dit terug. Ek moet dit in Engels nog vertel. I immediately ran to the office and screamed,
Out of the office.
part of the office, thank you, and screamed that Timol went out of the, or went through the window. And I reported the incident to Lieutenant Colonel Greiling. Nou hy sê hoe verduidelik jy nou hierdie paragraaf 16?
Eerlagbare, dit mag wees dat kolonel Greiling in daardie stadium in 'n kantoor was op die 10de vloer.
Sê jy is moontlik dat hy daar.
Dit is moontlik dat hy daar was.
It's possible that he was in an office at the time when as hy nou hierdie verduideliking nog gegee het aan wat daar.
In an office on the 10th floor. You say it's possible that he might have been in an office on the 10th floor.
Dit is moontlik dat hy in 'n kantoor was.
Yeah,
Nie in sy
any
kantoor.
office.
In a
In
office.
hy office.
And that you reported to him on the 10th floor.
Ek het aan hom Eerlagbare, ek het dit aan hom gerapporteer en aan ander mense ook, want hulle het almal het gestorm uit die kantore uit.
Ja, maar was dit op die 10de vloer?
Dit was op die 10de vloer, alles het op die 10de vloer gebeur.
Ja. Everything happened on the 10th floor. And there were other people. Was daar nog ander mense daar?
Ja,
And there were other people as well.
I'm putting it to you, Mr. Rodriguez, that you're improvising.
dit is na die beste van my vermoë wat ek kan onthou, Eerlagbare.
And this is the best of my knowledge as to what happened on that day in question.
Recollection.
Or recollection, yes.
Ek moes baie diep delf in my 78-jarige geheue om feite te onthou wat 46 jaar gelede gebeur het, Eerlagbare. Ek mag 'n fout maak, maar dit is soos ek dit onthou.
Yeah, I'm 78 years of age today, and this incident happened 46 years. So I needed to deep down to be able to recollect as to what transpired on that day in question, and this is the best of my recollection.
If we look at paragraph 17 of your statement, you say, ek en luitenant-kolonel Greiling en ander lede van die mag het onmiddellik na buite gehaas en sy liggaam is na binne gedra. Is that
Ja.
correct?
Dit is korrek, Eerlagbare. Ek is saam met die mense af na die grondvloer toe.
I went down with all the people to the ground floor.
En daarvan dan is die liggaam, ek het geen draaiwerk gedoen nie. Ek was 'n junior gewees.
I did not pick up the body. I was a junior then.
En die mense het die liggaam op 'n kombers in 'n kantoor ingedra.
And they used the blanket to pull up the body into an office.
You were not confused at that stage.
Ek mag geskok gewees het. Die kanse is baie goed dat ek baie geskok was nog in daai stadium, eerlagbare.
Yeah, it's possible that I might have been very much shocked.
We'll come to the theme, what I call wit geskrik. We'll come to that theme. But what I want to know from you is, you gave very interesting evidence yesterday about them getting the corpse inside. You say, ek dink hulle wil die liggaam so gou as moontlik uit die publiek gekry het.
Dit was die indruk wat ek gehad het, eerlagbare.
Why?
That is the impression I gained.
Want mense het verbygestap by die toneel,
Yeah,
aan die publieke kant. En die indruk wat ek gekry het is dat hulle die liggaam so gou as moontlik uit die publieke oog uit wil kry.
yeah, because there were people that were moving up and down on the scene. And I think my impression that I gained is that they wanted to remove the corpse.
Now, giving evidence yesterday, you continued with your version and you said numerous officers, verskeie offisiere, came to consult you about what happened. They didn't come as a group, 1-1 or 2-2, they consulted with you and you explained to the senior officers what happened. Is that correct?
Dis korrek, eerlagbare.
That is indeed so.
You explained to them what happened during the interrogation.
Ek het nooit van 'n interrogation gepraat nie, eerlagbare.
I did not talk about the torture.
Ek het net aan die mense verduidelik wat gebeur het, eerlagbare.
I only explained the people as to what happened.
And the court asked some questions at that stage about you, and I took down your evidence verbatim at that stage. Once again, you gave evidence in English. When the court asked, when did the senior officers came to ask you about what happened, and you said, after the accident, immediately after the accident. That was your evidence yesterday. Do you agree with that?
Eerlagbare, dit was 'n groot deurmekaar spul in daardie stadium gewees. En sover ek kan onthou, het verskeie mense by gevra wat gebeur het.
It was a confusing situation, and there's numerous people that came to ask me as to what happened.
Now, what was interesting to me is your use of the word accident. And that's why I noted it down. If Ahmed Timol dived through the window, it would have been a deliberate motion, not so.
Dit is heeltemal korrek, eerlagbare.
It is correct.
Why do you refer to this incident as an accident?
Eerlagbare, ek is seker mense kan die situasie op baie maniere beskryf. Ek het miskien nie heeltemal die regte woorde gebruik nie, maar ek het dit gebruik soos wat ek gedink het.
Yeah, I might have not used the correct word, but I used the word in the manner in which I thought that would suit the situation.
So later, we'll come back later to the possibility that the accident did happen in that room. Now, you stated about the senior officers that nobody made any notes.
Dis korrek, eerlagbare.
That is correct.
Their version differ from yours.
Dit kan so wees, eerlagbare.
It's possible that it does.
I'm putting it to you, we already have Patel's version that you moved the other way around the table. We already has General Base's version that the detainee first ran to the door. And you are trying to get explanations for the discrepancies in your different versions?
Edelagbare, ek kan al wat ek kan sê is die mense het nie aantekeninge gemaak van wat ek gesê het nie. Niemand het geskryf.
Yeah, nobody took down any notes.
En ek kan net
That's all what
getuig,
I can say.
ek kan net getuig, edelagbare, op dit wat ek gesien het.
But I can only testify to the effect that of what I have seen.
Major General Buys was appointed to do this very important investigation, and he take no notes.
Edelagbare, ek kan nie kommentaar op generaal Buys lewe nie, in hierdie opsig nie.
I cannot comment.
Ek kan net sê wat ek gesien het.
I cannot comment on why did the general not take down the notes. I can only say what I saw and what happened.
But when you talk to him, did he take down notes? When you talk to General Bays, did he take down notes?
Hy didn't take, hy het geen aantekeninge gemaak nie, edelagbare.
No, he did not.
Brigadier Patel that insisted to call the photographer that very same afternoon, he took down no notes.
Ek het hom nie gesien, ek het in geen stadium gesien dat hy aantekeninge gemaak het, edelagbare.
Jy het hom nie gesien nie. That's your evidence now.
Nee, ek sê ek het nie gesien dat hy aantekeninge gemaak het, edelagbare.
I did not see him as to whether he take down the notes.
Is it possible that he took down notes?
Ek kan nie daarop kommentaar lewer nie, want ek het dit nie gesien nie, edelagbare.
I cannot comment on that because I did not see him.
You continued with your evidence in chief yesterday, and you said you don't know how long after the incident you made your statement. Did you give evidence like that yesterday?
Edelagbare, ek het gisterand in opdrag van u die uitspraak deurgegaan. En dit is die naaste wat ek aan hierdie vraag kan kom.
Yeah, I read the judgment yesterday, and this is how I can respond to counsel's submission statement.
The judgment help you, are you telling the court that the judgment helps you to understand when you made the statement? The question is, when did you make the statement?
Ja, edelagbare, vervolgens wat ek kon aflei, het ek 2 dae na die voorval het ek 'n verklaring afgelê. Sover ek kan onthou wat in die dokument staan.
A statement was taken from me 2 days after the incident had happened.
Who took down that statement? Who took down that statement?
Excuse
Die
me,
verklaring
Who took down that statement?
afgelê van u af. Wie is die mens?
Ek sal moet kyk edelagbare, ek kan nie onthou nie. Ek weet nie edelagbare.
I do not
Can't
know.
I help you? Isn't it Brigadier Broodryk, Kalfie Broodryk that took down the statement? Thank you.
This is Kalfie Brood.
No, it's General Major Buys.
Generaal
General
Buys het die
Major Buys,
verklaring,
Ja.
generaal Buys het die verklaring afgeneem, edelagbare.
Is it General Bates?
Ja.
And the date appears there, the 11th of November 1971. It's about a fortnight after the incident.
Dis moontlik edelagbare, ek kan nie onthou nie.
It's possible, but I cannot remember.
I don't understand your evidence that it's possible you can't remember. Yesterday you also gave evidence. You were asked about that in the original inquest. That you didn't immediately make a statement, but it only happened a fortnight afterwards.
Ja, edelagbare, dit is ook, dit is moontlik so.
It's possible.
And you had this statement before coming to give evidence here.
Ja, edelagbare, ek stem saam met u. Dit is die 11de van die 11de maand van die 71.
And from the 27th October till the 11th of November, it's about 14 days, a fortnight.
Ja, edelagbare, dit is reg.
Yeah, it's correct.
So now you say that you agree that it was General Bass who took down your statement.
Dit is generaal Buys wat die verklaring afgeneem het, edelagbare.
It is indeed so. The General Bass is the one that took down the statement.
And you said that when you spoke to him, he did not take anything down.
Ja, dis korrek, edelagbare.
That is correct.
But
So he took down this statement and all you did was to go to him and sign.
hy het hierdie verklaring op daai dag afgeneem wat op hierdie verklaring staan, edelagbare.
Verstaan u die vraag van die hof?
Ekskuus tog.
The question is, you just said now that he took down the statement. Did he take down the statement and called you to come and sign?
Hierdie verklaring is in sy teenwoordigheid afgelê, edelagbare. En ek het die verklaring in sy teenwoordigheid geteken.
Yes,
Ja.
that's what I'm saying.
Ja,
You signed it before him.
yes.
Yes, but I'm asking you, he called you to come in and sign before him.
He didn't call me, hy het my nie geroep nie, edelagbare. Ek was by hom toe hy hierdie verklaring geskryf het.
You were with him when he typed out this statement. Did he type it out or you wrote it by hand?
Dit kan ek nie onthou, die edelagbare, dis te lank gelede.
I cannot remember whether was it typed or was it handwritten, because it's quite a long time ago.
But you are certain that it was not written by you, it was General Bass who wrote it.
It's Buys. Generaal Buys het dit geskryf, edelagbare.
Yes, I'm certain that it's General Bass that wrote down the statement.
Thank you, my lord. And then you gave evidence before the inquest, the original inquest, not so?
Dis reg. Dit is so, edelagbare.
That is correct.
And then you were recalled to give explanations for the discrepancies between the different versions, not so?
Dis korrek, edelagbare.
That is correct.
You wanted to leave the police service at that stage.
Dis korrek, edelagbare.
That is correct.
Initially, I think the inquest would have been held at the end of 1971. There was a fight about documents that were not delivered to the attorneys and the advocates appearing for the family, and then it was postponed, not so?
Dis moontlik, edelagbare. Ek kan dit nie onthou nie, dis baie lank gelede.
It's possible I cannot remember it, but it's quite a long time ago.
And I think you had to sit idle up till April and May, waiting for the inquest to be held, not so?
Dis korrek, edelagbare.
That is correct.
Elaborate on that. What do we mean by saying you had to sit idle, waiting for the inquest to be held? You wanted to leave the police, but you had to wait till the inquest was over.
Die offisiere het my by verskeie geleenthede gevra om nie te bedank.
The officers requested me not on several occasions not to retire
Resign.
or to resign
Voordat die ondersoek nie afgehandel is nie, die nadoodse geregtelike ondersoek in die hof nie afgehandel is nie, edelagbare.
before everything was settled.
Why? Did they want to keep control over you?
Dit is die indruk wat ek gekry het, edelagbare.
That is the expression that I got.
Want die mense het my in 'n kantoortjie, kan ek net nie verduidelik, edelagbare. Die mense het my in 'n kantoortjie in die hoofkantoor van die veiligheidspolisie gesit en my met klein beselagtige taakies besig gehou.
Yeah, the people took me into a small office at the veiligheids
Security branch.
security branch office. En wat het hulle weer gemaak?
Hulle het my met beselagtige taakies besig gehou daar, edelagbare.
I said it in Engels.
They kept you busy with small functions,
Yeah.
insignificant functions.
Ja.
Thank you, Mara.
And once your evidence was finished before the inquest, you resigned.
Ek dink ek dink ek het bedank nadat die ondersoek afgehandel is. Na doodse ondersoek.
Yeah, I resigned after all this, the dust is settled.
And you did not comply with this strong group of senior officers that wanted to prescribe to you what type of evidence you were to give.
Ek het glad nie met hierdie edelagbare, ek het glad nie met hierdie mense saamgestem nie.
I did not agree with them.
En daar het 'n groot konfrontasie tussen my en die offisiere ontstaan.
And there was a big confrontation between me and the officers.
Waarop ek besluit het om die polisie na die ondersoek te verlaat.
And I then decided to leave the police.
If you say confrontation, was it an argument? What exactly happened? And between whom was this argument?
Edelagbare, die konfrontasie wat ontstaan het was woordeliks. Ons het met mekaar gepraat.
Yeah, the argument that was there, or the confrontation that was there, it was
Verbally.
verbally. Thank you.
En ek kan nie onthou wat die mense als gesê het nie, maar ek kan onthou Buys het gesê, generaal Buys het gesê, ek moet my verklaring verander en ek moet daarbey insluit dat ek en Timol in 'n stoeigeveg betrokke was.
Yeah, and I cannot remember all what they said I must write down, but all what I can recall is that Bayes told me that I must write down that there was a wrestle between me and Timol.
Ek het absoluut geweier, edelagbare.
And I refused.
Except for General Buys, what about Captain Green?
Dooi was een van die manne wat my probeer beïnvloed het. Van die kerk was die ander man.
Zoe and Van Nieker,
Die ander mense kan ek nie meer onthou nie.
they tried to influence me.
Of the police gave you a commendation, a letter of commendation. You did not want to comply with what they did, and then you received a letter of commendation. Can you explain that to us?
Edelagbare, daar was meer as een polisieman in daai stadium van die wedstryd wat gekwalifiseer het vir iets soos wat ek ontvang het. Ek het dit nooit ontvang nie. Ek het nie geweet van die toekenning wat aan my gemaak is nie. Ek het dit in die hof, in die getuienis gehoor, toe hulle dit aan my gestel het, edelagbare. Ek het nooit so iets ontvang nie.
Everybody received commendations, but I did not receive anything. Even in court, I also explained to the court that I received nothing in relation to commendations.
Edelagbare, ekskuus, ek wil net die man...
Is it this court or the 1972
Nou,
court?
this court, sir.
In this court,
Yes.
when did you hear for the first time that you received a commendation in this court?
I can't remember.
No, you came in yesterday. I don't remember anybody yesterday telling you about commendation.
Hier is die Hoge Regshof, dis 'n landbouhof.
Edelagbare, ek kan nie onthou nie. Iewers in hierdie gebeure het die ding na vore gekom.
When you were preparing to come and testify,
Ja,
but it was not in this court.
nee, it was not in this court. As
Because
far as I can remember.
the issue of commendation is raised by counsel here. It was not in this court.
Ja.
Thank you, my lord. I want to move over to a new theme, and the theme in Afrikaans was wit geskrik. It was very clear to me, according to the previous evidence, that you were shocked quite heavily after what happened in room 1026, not so.
Dis korrek, edelagbare.
That is correct.
Brigadier Patel, that came to see you just after this incident, his evidence was the sergeant was very excited. Is that true?
Ek weet nie wat hy daarmee bedoel het nie, edelagbare.
I don't know what he meant by so saying, by having said that.
And the further evidence by Colonel Greiling was that Colonel Greiling told him, deal nicely with this chap. He is very upset. Would you agree with that?
Daarmee sal ek saamstem, edelagbare.
That he was ontstel.
Ja.
Yes, I do agree.
Why the word upset? Why do we use the word upset? Can you explain to us in your own words your situation?
Edelagbare, ek sal dit so verduidelik, ek was bitter teleurgestel en geskok terselfdertyd dat die voorval plaasgevind het.
I was upset and shocked as to what happened
And disappointed.
and disappointed.
Why were you disappointed?
Ek was teleurgestel omdat ek gevoel het dat ek dalk nie my plig nagekom het nie, edelagbare.
Yeah, I was disappointed because I could not do what I was instructed to do.
Patel also gave evidence that you were white as a sheet and very upset.
Dit is moontlik, edelagbare, maar ek het ongelukkig nie in die spieël gekyk om na myself te kyk nie. Dis getuienis wat ander mense op my lewe.
Yeah, but I never looked myself in the mirror. That is what he saw me to have been.
Daar moes something happened in that office that made you white as a sheet. Not so.
Die enigste ding wat my as white as a sheet kon laat lyk het, is Timol se sprong deur die venster, edelagbare.
Yeah, as it is now mentioned, it is because of Timol jumped through over the window.
No wrestling in that office?
Ek het geen kontak met Timol gehad nie, edelagbare.
I never had any contact with Timol.
Were you confused at that stage?
Dis baie moeilik om te sê, edelagbare, ek kan dit nie onthou nie.
It's very difficult to say it, I cannot remember it.
What happened is simple. I mean, you were sitting over the table, and he moved around the table. You went around this way, he went around the other way. So can you be confused about anything that happened there?
No, I can't be confused, edelagbare.
Your own witness, your own evidence at that stage is when the man jumped, I was very shocked. You agree with that?
Ek stem daarmee saam, edelagbare.
I do agree to that submission.
I must put it to you, something extraordinary must have happened that office that made you that shocked.
Niks, edelagbare, kan ek net vir u verduidelik. Daar kon geen groter skok gewees het vir my as Timol se val nie.
Yeah, what shocked me the most is the time when Timol fell.
Maybe just before the adjournment, I want to discuss with you I've looked at C8, and I only see 2 cups in C8. I've looked at all the pictures. There's only 2 cups there.
Yeah, no. It's not what copies. Yeah, no. Yeah, no. You saw?
Ja, ek sien.
No.
Nou, ek kan... Die foto is vaag, u edelagbare. Dit is baie moeilik om te sê of daar net 2 koppies koffie op die tafel is.
This photo was faded. It's very difficult to see as to whether how many copies, how many cups were there.
But 2 of them are visible, not so.
It seems to me like that, edelagbare, maar dit kan wees dat een koppie agter die ander koppie gestaan het. Dit lyk so asof daar 'n koppie agter 'n ander koppie gestaan het en dan verder aan nog 'n koppie.
Yeah, it looks like there's another cup of coffee that is behind the other one.
My
If you
lord,
say, sorry, if you say that there's one cup that is behind another cup, are you talking about the one that is nearer the cameraman? Next to
ja,
the-
the one near to the camera.
The chair B, the one next to chair B, you're saying there may be 2 cups of coffee there.
It seems to me as if one cup is hiding another cup. If you look properly,
Next to chair B.
next to chair B on the left side.
Yes,
Yeah.
but then you said Van Niekerk was sitting on C.
Ja, van die kyk was sitting on C.
Assuming the first cup was for Mr. Timol, as you said, the second cup was for Gloy,
Yes.
how did the cup of Van Niekerk move from C to be on that side?
Dis onmoontlik vir my om te sê edelagbare. Ek kan nie daarop kommentaar lewer nie.
It's impossible for me to comment on that question.
my lord, I want to put some of the injuries, the medical injuries to this witness. Can I ask for the lunch adjournment now?
Yes, we'll do that when we come back. Mr. Vani, it looks like you may have to come in. How far are you still
I can finish in about half an hour, my lord,
when we come back?
when we come back.
We'll be ready to start.
Yes, I will be.
Yes. Looks like we may have to go into Wednesday with this witness. I take it you also have a couple of questions to ask.
I have more than a couple of questions, my lord, so I expect to go into Wednesday.
Okay. Yeah, I just hope that we'll be able to finish by Wednesday. And,
Oh yes, I expect to finish by
because
Wednesday.
Dr. Pretoria has covered quite a wider field. Okay, fine, then we will adjourn until 2 o'clock.
or you didn't, or you interpreted?